Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to discuss top 10 ways to make lessons more interesting in classrooms. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel for our future updates. Have you ever been in the middle of teaching a class, glanced at your students, and caught them staring into space? Just when you think you've created the perfect lesson plan or engaging activity, you may find that your students are unfocused and out to lunch. Yet it's essential that you find ways to keep your classes interesting, so your students can absorb and retain the information that you present. For decades, educators have been trying new teaching strategies to keep their students on their toes, and get them excited about learning. Although some strategies have failed, others have been found to be quite effective. Explore 10 teacher-tested ways to keep your class interesting, so your students will stay engaged all the time. Number 10. Incorporate mystery into your lessons. Learning may be the most fun for your students when they don't know what to expect. Try to incorporate a sense of surprise and mystery into your lessons. When you're about to unveil a new lesson, give students a new clue each day up until the last day before the start of the lesson. This is a fun way to make your lesson mysterious, and you may find that your students are actually looking forward to finding out what they'll be learning about next. Number 9. Don't repeat classroom material. It's appropriate and essential to review classroom material, but try not to repeat it verbatim because this can make it less interesting for students. The next time you need to review material, try playing a review game during which you present the information in a way that's different from the first time you taught the students. The 3-2-1 strategy is a fun way to review and not repeat material. For this activity, students draw a pyramid in their notebooks and write down 3 things they learned, 2 things they thought were interesting, and 1 question they still have. Number 8. Create classroom games. Whether you're 5 or 25, playing a game can be fun. Games are also a great way to keep lessons interesting. If your students need to remember their spelling words, conduct a spelling bee, a contest in which participants are eliminated when they misspell a word. Or if the students need to practice math, have a math bee, which is similar to a spelling bee, but with math problems or facts instead of spelling words. Games make learning fun, and games in class are a prescription for happy kids. It doesn't matter if you are 8 years old or 18 years old, everybody loves to play games. Games are a great way to keep people engaged, and it doesn't hurt that they are fun. A lot of the time students don't even notice they are learning because they are so into the game. If students need to learn important vocabulary words for science, play Jeopardy! If they need to remember specific dates in social studies, play a memory game. Any kind of game will help to make your class more interesting as well as keep them engaged. Number 7. Give your students choices. One strategy that teachers have found to be effective is offering their students the ability to make their own choices when it comes to learning. Choice can be a powerful motivator because it helps to foster student interest and independence. The next time you're planning an activity, try making a choice board. Print out a tic-tac-toe board and write down 9 different tasks for students to complete. The goal is for each student to choose 3 tasks in a row. Number 6. Use technology. Technology is a great way to keep your lessons interesting. Children love electronics, so try incorporating it into your overall teaching strategy. Instead of standing in front of the room and lecturing, try using a smartboard interactive display. Expand your cooperative learning activity lessons by connecting to a classroom in another city or country via video conferencing. Use technology in a variety of ways, and you'll see the interest level in your classroom increase by leaps and bounds. Technology is what students live and breathe every day. If you want to make your class the most interesting class that everyone loves to go to, then you must incorporate some kind of technology. Instead of lecturing and having students take notes, use a smartboard and have students come up to the board and interact. Instead of giving students a quiz on paper, use a computer or a tablet. Instead of having students work on a project together, have them video conference with another class from another country and work with them on the project. Utilize technology in the classroom and your students will be interested and engaged in what they are learning. Number 5. Don't take teaching so seriously. Being an effective teacher is an important job, but that doesn't mean that you have to remain serious in class at all times. Try to loosen up a bit and acknowledge that your students may have different interests and learning styles than your own. It's okay to laugh at yourself at times and to have some fun. You may find that your students are more interested when you're a little more relaxed. It's much more fun for both parties when students and teachers learn new things together. If you're teaching about something that can be seen outdoors, move the class outside. It's a simple strategy that never fails. The mere fact of being outside the classroom will make your students more relaxed, but more engaged at the same time. It is important to respect the students, and consider each one individually. While this does not mean surrendering to their total demands, it does mean a willingness to actually listen to the student and respond accordingly. Students need to know that they are important to the instructor and being taken seriously by him. Instructor should try to treat students with respect no matter what the situation. Number 4, make your lessons interactive in a traditional classroom. The teacher stands in front of the room and lectures to the students as the students listen and take notes. Unfortunately, this is not the most effective way to hold students' interest. Make learning interactive by creating hands-on lessons that involve students every step of the way. Try using the jigsaw cooperative learning activity in which each student is responsible for his or her own part of a group activity. Or try a hands-on science experiment. When you involve students and make your lessons interactive, your class becomes more interesting. Number 3, relate material to your students' lives. Try to create a real-world connection to what your students are learning. This will give them a better understanding of why they need to learn what you're teaching. If they're constantly asking you why they need to learn something, and you're always answering with, because, you will soon lose credibility. Instead, try giving them a real answer such as, you're learning about money, because in the real world, you'll need to know how to buy food and pay your bills. By giving a straightforward answer, you're helping them make a connection between what they're learning in class, and how they'll use this information in the future. When you create a real-world connection to what students are learning, it will give them a greater understanding of why they need to learn it. If they are learning math and want to know when they will need to use it, tell them they will need math to write out checks, pay bills, buy groceries, figure out how much things that they want will cost. This will help them connect why they must learn with what they are learning for their future. Number 2, flip your lessons. Since the term flipped entered the broader education world in 2012, the flipped classroom has been gaining in popularity. When it was first presented, the idea that students could learn new information at home and then come to school and use class time for critical thinking activities and reinforcement of concepts was unique. However, many teachers are using this strategy and achieving positive results. Students in a flipped classroom are able to work at their own pace, which is great for differentiated learning, and engage with their peers in a more interactive, meaningful way when they're in the classroom. Try using the flipped teaching strategy for your next lesson, and observe the depth of your students' engagement. Number 1, think outside the box lesson. Plans don't have to include worksheets or lectures during which students sit and take notes time and again. Try thinking outside the box and plan a lesson that's completely out of the ordinary. Invite a guest speaker, go on a field trip, or take learning outdoors. When you try something new and different, there's a good chance that your students will respond positively. When planning a lesson, try collaborating with another teacher, or taking your students on a virtual field trip. Learning that engages students is the most effective. Give them tasks that will get them moving. You can divide them in teams and allow many students to sit in a group. They will be free to stand up when they speak, or move around the classroom to see what the other teams are doing. There is a lot of scientific evidence indicating that the brain learns better when we are physically active. What do you think of our list? Which of the following points you find more interesting? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.